So for this, you're just going to need a few simple things. Now, when I clean my brushes, I like to use 100% cotton cloth. These are just some, inexpensive towels that I have bought. I have about 4 or 5 of them, and you can definitely tell they're used because there's old makeup on them. Makeup never really can come out of your towels, so before you do this, make sure you're not using your mom's good towels. Next, you're going to need some brush cleanser. You can use Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo, but I wouldn't recommend using any other designer shampoos because they're probably going to be too harsh for your brushes. But this is Sephora's Professional Brush Cleanser. I really like it, it gets the makeup out, and it has a really nice scent. So let's get started. Okay, I want to try to conserve as much water as possible. So what we're going to do is take your first brush. I'm going to show you how to clean a concealer brush. This brush gets used a lot and has tons of makeup in it. I mean, look, it sticks when you move it. So what I'm going to do is turn the water on and just wet it, and then take my cloth and just kind of get any excess that's just sitting on top. Okay. Then, once you've done that, take your cleanser or shampoo and just spray. Let it sit in for a second, and then put it and work it through on your cloth again. Now, there's definitely a difference between this color and this color. It's much more concentrated down here because the cleanser really gets out the makeup. So I just swirl it around, kind of push it through, and continue to do this. Now, I'm not going to sit here and do all the brushes. It would take way too long, but I would probably do this for another minute or so and then wash it again. Also, you can use warm water. It really helps. Then I just sit them on another cloth to dry. Alright, let me show you a foundation brush because that one, like the concealer brush, has a lot of makeup in it. As you can see, it's used every day and it's actually kind of hard from being so used. So I'm going to use warm water on this just to break up that makeup. So with this, I'm really going to wet it nicely. These brushes are definitely the hardest to get all the makeup out of. Then take my cloth again and just kind of go back and forth. As you can see, not a whole lot of makeup is coming out, but once I spray it, and let me show you a new section of cloth so you can see. And look at that. You can't see it because of my lighting as well, but it's really starting to come out. I'm going to do this again because this brush has so much makeup. So do this until you're seeing less and less makeup come out. But look at how well this cleanser works. I really like it. Now you do have to make sure that you wet it really well and get the product out, or it'll kind of be sticky once it dries. So I do try to get the product out of it too. So then wet it again and dry and just sit it. Next, I'm going to show you how to do an eyeliner brush. This brush is kind of tricky because you don't want too much water to go down past the bristles because it can create mildew. So what I'm going to do is, again, turn on my water and get my finger wet and just kind of go back and forth on the bristles. Then taking the cleanser, be really careful because I don't want to have my whole entire brush covered in this stuff. Just kind of go like this, take my cloth again, and just do crosshatch strokes. You can see that black. Ooh. Then once you have enough product out, you can continue to use the spray until you get as much out as you want, and then continue to rinse it and let it dry. This is my e.l.f. powder brush, and it's pretty new, and I'm always kind of skeptical about getting these brushes too wet because I feel like they're never going to go back to the original form. So what I do is I turn on the water again and wet my hand. I have a lot of water in here, and I'm just going to stipple it all over this brush. And then spray my hand and stipple. Then re-wet my hand to get the rest of the spray out. Then with a clean side of the rag, you can stipple the brush. This keeps the form of the brush really nicely. Then you can just lay it to dry. Next, I'm going to show you a blush brush. This one is from e.l.f. and I really do like this brush. I'm going to wet it and spray, and then work it in to my cloth. You can see that pink. And then I will re-wet it and get any excess off and then let it to dry. I hope this helped you clean your brushes. If you have any more questions, you can message me or comment. I even have a Twitter, so you can tweet me. Just remember that if you have an eyeshadow brush, you can always wet it under the water, really work the bristles in, and also with the product. But if you have a brush that you're a little bit skeptical about really wetting and working the product, just kind of stipple it on your hand and maybe take your finger through there. So I hope you guys had a good weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye guys.